Yes, people. Welcome back to another episode of the Whole That Show. And we're live. No, we're not. It's pre-recorded, but we're back with another episode. And it's been a great week. I'm your host Abdallah Yini. I'm a Chelsea fan. We'll talk about our game and so much more. But before we do that, co-host, introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, you know how it is. It's Luke here, obviously supporting Liverpool. Just come back from the gym, and yeah, won our two games, 4 points clear at the top of the table, ready for the final against Marjube. But we got bigger fish to fry, cause it's all in our hands. Yes, we're gonna talk about Assna, and the CL run. They said Madrid, come outside. They said Bayern Munich, come outside. We can face anybody. We're ready. And what happened? You man didn't get a single shot on target away from home. Saka was out here moving like that EastEnders star. Yeah, Saliba who? My man, yeah, was backing it up. Shaku on the beat. Like he was in the French national team in the toilets, fam. Where was your star boys? Where was your star boys? On a big occasion, no one turned up. Bums. And yeah, people can say, you know what? We still got the second leg. Like Henri said, we still got the second leg. I'm not worried. I'm relaxed. If that performance is what to come in the second leg, you man ain't going through. You mans don't even have the credentials. You don't even have the minerals. You don't even have the heritage. The heritage to go through, fam. And even if you were to go through, you're not even favourites to win it. And you're not even favourites to even get to the semis anyway. So just folk probably, you know what? Use this opportunity as an apprenticeship scheme. Get some experience again, and then go again for next season. That's what I would suggest to you. Yeah, use this as experience and then focus on the Premier League because we all know you're gonna bottle the CL anyway, and we all know that you're probably gonna bottle the PL as well. So you know what? Use this season as apprenticeship experience, and then get rid of Mikel Arteta and bring in a natural, proven winner that's gonna take you to the next level. Because, as Margie rightfully said at the start of the pod, at the very start of the pod, he said, if Arteta does not win anything this season, then question marks needs to be raised on this manager.
hmm
And at this moment in time, question marks is gonna be raised very soon. TikTok, no Karen Cross
Tick
ting.
tock.
But TikTok,
Tick tock. Tick
yeah.
tock. Um, you went a bit early on the Assna, but you know what? I'm here for it. For once, everyone's in unison. We're all together. The football world came in unison. Real Madrid fans came out. The Porto fans came out. The Chelsea fans came out. The whole Premier League fans came out. Because Arsenal fans, I'm gonna start it with this, preface it with this before we talk into that game and what happened in the Champions League and in that night in the Dragao. I like Arsenal Football Club. I like the way they play. I like their style. I've liked them this season. But there is a thing where you talk too much before things happen. There is a thing of English media bias.
Mm,
There is a
mm,
disrespect to European teams and the nature of European football. It ain't like the Premier League. The ball was in play for 50 minutes. Porto are a team known, heritage for the dark arts. Pepe,
mm.
their centre back, 41, marshalled that team brilliantly. And they did what they needed to do. They defended. They had a chance in the first half to make it 1-0. They should have scored that. But you didn't heed the warning. You passed sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. I thought I was watching Chelsea Football Club. That's how I felt. I felt I was watching my team. I was like, wow, all this possession for nothing. And the last seconds of extra time, the dagger. Raya's hands too short. It felt like I was watching Kepa. It was last season Chelsea, basically. This was the last season Chelsea, and this was how it felt watching the game. But the thing about oh, what's happening with my camera's going wild? Ew. Why is it doing that? There we go. There we go. It was starting to. It was looking fuzzy for a second. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Assna. When it comes to Champions League, you don't have the heritage to be talking as if though you've won it all. You're not Man City out here. You didn't win it last season. You haven't won back to back to back to Premier Leagues. You haven't done anything. This is the first time you're back in 7 years. You go away to Porto after thoroughly destroying your group, and you not one shot on target. Look, 94 minutes, not one shot on target. I saw a team that was nervous. I saw a team that was naive. I saw a team that hadn't been there before, and it showed. And when we talk about heritage, this is the last 6 times Arsenal have been in the Champions League. The round they got knocked out. Round of 16, 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 round of 16. It's been a minute since we've seen you in a semi-final, let alone a final. Final 06. Semi, probably like 08, 09. It's been years. And the thing about it, about that game, the arrogance beforehand to think you were going to smash them up, that you were going to just roll up in there, easy peasy. This is a team that's won multiple Champions Leagues in Porto. 04, 03, 04 Jose Mourinho, we remember, fam, running down the pitch on Old Trafford. That's what they're about. That's their history. And history matters. Man City learned it the hard way. They went to Monaco, got knocked out. Or Lyon, one of them French teams got knocked out. They got knocked out to bummy teams. You remembered it last season when Sporting Lisbon came around in the Europa League, knocked you out. Unai Emery, good evening. At his previous job, he said it was a good evening for him. He knocked you out in the semis. Was it semis or final? No, it was the final actually. Was it semis or final?
I think it was semis because they played United in the final,
Yeah,
didn't
it
they?
was the semis because that was the Good Evening Revenge tour. That was great.
Yeah.
Part
Yeah.
1 and part 2
Mm-hmm.
in the semis. So, and the last time you were in the European final, you came up against big boy Chelsea 4-1. Man, were doing up everything to get to Baku, fam. Man, were swimming, driving, boats, coach, plane, hot air balloon, just to see your team get dubs up. What I like to affectionately call the Eden Hazard testimonial. The last game we ever saw Eden Hazard play, like Eden Hazard play. R.I.P. to him. Man's now up doing charity match with Chunks and them, man. But anyway, the game was disgusting. It was dirty. It was a typical Jose Mourinho football game in terms of if Jose Mourinho was there, you would have thought it was the same thing back in them days in 04. And Arsenal just need to learn. Sometimes you have to give them the ball. Sometimes you have to allow for opportunities to counter attack. Because in European football, the best way to score is by counters. It's by giving them the ball, giving them a chance, and hitting them on the break. Because when you get the ball, they're just going to send every man back, and they're not leaving any spaces. They're telling you, go out wide and try and whip it in. And you ain't got no big man to head. You ain't got no big man. Back in the day, in this type of game, you could bring on a Giroud. You can get you a couple headers. But you don't even have a man like that on your bench, which shows the failures in recruitment. You don't have a bench striker that you can bring on. You don't even have bench wingers that you can bring on that you trust. Eddie Nketiah, number 14, 100 bags a week. For what? No defense is in trouble when he's in the room. Yeah? Bum ass song. Wanna party hard? Where's Party? I haven't seen him. Timber? It's a Piro act. Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, your big time players, gone missing. Guess what? These big time players, as soon as they left, Man City won the Champions League. That's what happened. They're not big time players. They're sidemen. No KSI. That's what they are. Sidemen, no KSI. And then we talk about your youngsters. It's a learning process. And it's not a bad thing, because it took years for Man City to win the Champions League. They were getting knocked out year on year, got to the final, lost. They were crying in Porto while my team was celebrating. It was a great night. Unlike your night in Porto. We win in the Dragao. You don't. Life's different.
Mm.
Hold that, Havertz. Anyway. I feel like we're.
This is a new lease for life for Marju, boy. He's
Yeah,
he's
man.
drinking it in, fam.
It's
Man's
my
gonna spend the whole pod dissing Arsenal, fam.
because the weekend's gonna be long. I know it. We're gonna get slapped up by Liverpool on the weekend, so I gotta have the good moments when I can. But I would say this: I still believe you'll go through in the second leg. But if you don't, it's good for me. I'm gonna be back for part two of the roast, and everyone's eating. Alan Madrid's eating, Bayern Munich's eating, and the whole football world's eating. Because you Arsenal fans talk too much. Anyway, forget about that. My team's not in Champions League. Luke's team's not in Champions League. Right now, we don't understand European languages right now. It's just straight English for us. It's just
I
straight
do wanna
English.
say, I do wanna say this though.
Yeah?
If you go into a game knowing that, not to say that you're not gonna win because they were supposed to win, but like, okay, cool. If we use Liverpool for example, Liverpool always know that if the second leg is at Anfield, they know that when they go away from home, they're playing for a draw because they know 99.9% when the second leg is at Anfield, we're whapping that team easily.
Yeah.
Easily, and we've always been known for that. That's why European nights always hit different when Liverpool's in the Champions League. Everyone knows this. That's heritage. Yeah. With Arsenal, I'm not suggesting that Emirates is a fortress because it isn't. But what I'm saying is if you know that your away leg is at the Emirates, which it is, why didn't you just go there? And I'm not saying park the bus, but at least play for a draw or 1-0 win. But to me, it just looked like they were just scared and they didn't want to play for anything. It's like the occasion was new to them, they didn't know what to do. And for someone like Arteta, who has experience in the CL, like it surprised me at the performance of Arsenal in that away game. It surprised me considering the momentum that they've been on, beating Liverpool, beating whoever, with high goal scoring lines. Goal scoring has never been an issue these last few weeks for Arsenal. So to go away from home and let the occasion get the best of them, knowing full well that as a manager, you're meant to calm the nerves of your players and encourage the best, that they deserve to be there, and that at least they should be playing for a draw or a 1-0 win, like Mourinho always says, then I'm just surprised at the strategy of the game. As I said, nerves got the better of them, but as a manager, you should be able to calm those nerves. But again, it's inexperience from Mikel Arteta as a manager, but it's inexperience in terms of the players being in that occasion. So personally, I actually don't think that they will win the second leg. Because as I said, if you're going to perform like that away from home, it doesn't matter if you got the home advantage. As I said, Liverpool can go a goal down, 2 goals, 3 goals down at the away end. But when it comes to Anfield, it's game over. We're winning that game. And it's proven that we're winning that game because we have history in doing that. But with Arsenal, there is no history in them coming back from a goal down in a Champions League because this is the first time in a good while that they're in the CL. So I personally, I'm indifferent to you, Marju. But I personally think that they're not gonna make it beyond the round 16. And as you said already, Heritage always wins, and I think Heritage will win in this moment. And that's pretty much it.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. You know what? I think they're good enough to go through, but you know who knows. Either way, it doesn't really bother me. I ain't in Champions League anyway, so and they ain't winning it. So whatever round they get out, I'm having a good time. And if they get out to Porto, as I said, we're eating part two, and we eating good.
True.
And if my team wins a trophy this weekend, which is very unlikely, we'll talk about that. We're gonna be eating good part three. Anyway, let's talk about the games this past weekend, the weekend in the Premier League. Now, we'll first go on to your team. You got
Mm,
two different, you got two games, two very difficult opponents in the sense of there is no easy games in the Premier League. Two must-win games after what happened against Arsenal.
mm,
And I felt that with all the injuries as well, with all the players coming out, especially in the first game, to still come out with two wins, to still have a bunch of youngsters come on and show up, I feel that the two results were great for you. I think both games were very similar in the fact that the first half you didn't play well, and then the second half you came out to play and you decided, oh, we're gonna finish these men off, stop playing around. Jurgen Klopp told him, this is my last season, this is my last chance. Stop playing with me. I need my second PL, and the Blue Sharks are swimming. Yeah, cause the other team no one cares about anyway, fam. Bum ass team. Anyway, yeah, yeah, drag out. But two impressive wins, especially the one at Luton, a team that is very tough. That's caused a lot of problems for teams throughout the season. A team that looks like they stay up, possibly, especially if certain teams get the points deductions that they deserve for their financial problems. But good wins. I'd like you to talk about both of them, especially all the injuries that came out the first game, because it was like one went down, two went down, three went down. It was like Jota, that was a terrible one. Obviously, Nunes. Sure, Nunes, we don't know how long he's out for. It's day by day. Salah day by day. Jota long term. Curtis Jones looks like it's another long term, and the injury list for you starts to grow, but you still came out with the two victories and positive momentum coming towards the final. But talk about the games, talk about how you felt about both and the injuries and everything, all combined.
So, so regarding the injuries, Salah, Nunez, and Sloboslai is in contention for the final. So they're actually back, and I genuinely believe that they were probably back for the Luton game, but Klopp didn't want to risk it, which is great to hear that all three of those guys are back. Regarding Trent and Curtis Jones, they're going to be back after the international break in March, which is probably going to be in 2 weeks' time, I believe. So, again, this is all good news. It's not long-term injuries, so I'm grateful for that. And they're going to be back during with an intense running of games. The only one which is actually a long-term injury is Diego Jota. He'll be out for 2 months, but by the time he does come back again, he'll probably come back during a vital time in our title race anyway. So again, it's a blessing in disguise for these returns. Obviously, the injuries that did happen was just crazy. Especially the Diego Jota one, having a human body land on your knee like that. It's amazing that he didn't come away with something far more worse than that. But it is what it is. Like, this is the nature of the Premier League. Like, and I always find it funny when people always complain about their team struggling with injuries. Liverpool struggle with injuries probably far more worse than most of the teams in the Premier League, but yet we still deliver every time. Every time. So we do not use injuries as an excuse. We're not Newcastle out here, Trippier out here telling fans, oh, we have injuries, we have players out. It doesn't matter. You still need to deliver on the pitch. Liverpool's done it. Been there, done that. We don't let injuries affect us. We don't let injuries be the cause of us dropping points or losing. It's a called elite mentality, elitist. We've been there, we've done that. We're at the top of the table, so we need to be showing out. We can't be letting injuries be the reason why we're dropping points. This is what Arsenal did last year. Injuries happened to their team. What happened? They dropped out of the race, just like that. Liverpool had to go a full season playing two youth guys at the back a full season and we still made top four. Liverpool are just built different. It's as simple as that. We are just built different. We're always the underdogs and we know how to come out on top. And that is the essence of both games. Both games, the first half was not good enough, but second half, especially the Luton game, was amazing, absolutely amazing, brilliant stuff. McAllister again on point, and it's funny that we're seeing the best of McAllister because he's playing number 8, and this is what we're seeing: a maestro, a visionary, up in the box, doing what he does best: creativity, scoring goals. Because now we have a CDM in Endo who is allowing McAllister to be free and play like how he played in Brighton. And that is what has allowed us to dominate in games. Unsung hero, shout out to Endo, really and truly, because for me, I wasn't really a believer. I wasn't. I was 50-50 because I was thinking, how is a guy 30 years old, never been played anywhere else but the Bundesliga, which isn't that competitive, how is he going to fare in the Premier League? But Klopp and the sporting director knew, the DOF knew that this guy is a gem. We're not going. We missed out on Caicedo. Fine, Chelsea, you can have him because he's not been delivering how he should be delivering right now. So Chelsea, you can have him. Lavia, that's fine. You can have him. We've got 6.5 million guy, and look what's happened. He's been unlocking gems. Gems after gems, man in a match performance every single time, unlocking McAllister's ability, unlocking Slobosly's ability. He's there every single time, tidying up that midfield. Brilliant. And now it looks like Chelsea are the fools because they went and splashed out that much money and they're still trying to get the best out of their two signings. Whereas us, our midfield is assured, solid, stacked, looking good with a 30-year-old who's never played in a Premier League before. It just goes to show you who's the genius and who isn't the genius. And that right there, those two matches right there, especially the Luton game, to go to Luton and come away with all 3 points, with the magnitude that we have, with the players that are out, goes to show that Man City and Arsenal have a title race on their hands. And the one thing that will edge us above Arsenal, not so much Man City, but us against Arsenal, is the experience and the fact that we've won it. The experience, the fact that we've won it, and it's the final season for Klopp. That's the motivator right there. That's gonna be the driving force to Liverpool just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Eventually, Arsenal will drop out because of the inconsistency. You can't be winning the type of games that you're winning in the PL, then go to Drago and then losing like that. That's not a sign of an elite team and an elite manager and just an elite team in general. That's not a sign of it. Whereas Man City, I the thing with Man City is, yes, they're not on good form, but they will still be there. That's the thing, because they got the players to do it. Yes, they're not on good form, but they will still be there because of the experience. So Liverpool's job right now is to continue on winning, 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 winning. We got Man City in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, we got Man City. And the fact that we're winning like this, I'm not even afraid of that game against Man City. I'm not. We would be talking completely different if we drew those games because we lost the amount of players that we have. But the fact that we're winning it in the manner that we are with the players that's gone, when the players do return, I I do not fear Man City, and I've always said this. I do not fear Man City. And this weekend, obviously we're gonna talk about it, but this weekend should be a catalyst for Liverpool to go on and win that game and use that as a momentum builder to go on and win the league and potentially win the Europa League. The only team that I fear in that Europa League right now is Bayer Leverkusen. That's the only team I fear. and that's the only team I do not want to come up against. But for now, yeah, Liverpool mean business right now, and I like what I see. I do. I really like what I see. What I don't like though is the slow starts in the first half. It shouldn't take the second half, and it shouldn't take the second half drilling from Klopp to get you guys to come out and play how you're supposed to play. Maybe it's complacency in the beginning. Maybe you're trying to feed out how the opposition plays so that you're able to obviously counteract that and batter them in the second half. But we shouldn't be doing that. We should be going into games. We should be going into games and we should be battering them. That's what we should be doing. We should be going into games first half, kill the game, second half, kick back and relax, and potentially go on a counter attack. That's what we should be doing. Because if we do that slow start against Man City, then yeah, it is a long day in the office. But if we're on the front foot like we should be against Man City, because we know that when you are on the front foot against Man City, they crumble. They don't know what to do, and normally Liverpool City games are normally high octane anyway. So all Liverpool need to do is just carry on winning. We got 8 home games out of a possible 12. We got 8 home games and 4 are away. That alone goes to show you that it's in our hands and we need to be capitalizing. But yeah, last 2 games, fantastic results. Obviously, there were standout performances. Endo, well done. Connor Bradley, well done. McAllister in his natural position, well done. A shout out to Gravenberch as well. Since he's had a consistent run of games, he's actually been performing and he's been told to play how he should be playing. He's 6'3". He should be dominating in that midfield. He shouldn't be a runner. He shouldn't be a Henderson just running like a headless chicken. He should just be putting his body about or box to box, dominating in the paint, dominating in midfield, winning that ball, using his physicality. And he's been doing that in the last 2 games. So fantastic for him. Good to see Van Dijk got his goal as well. But yeah, everything's coming together. Kelleher, I still, yes, he's been performing lately. I'm still a bit shaky, and the drop off in world class from Allison to him is obviously evident. But he's doing what he has to do, and yeah, man, I look forward to the final. It's gonna be a good game at the end of the day. Like, regardless of Chelsea's form right now, I always say form goes out the window. So for me, like, it's gonna be a good game. I just don't want it to be a boring 0-0 or 1-1 like it normally is when we play against Chelsea. Obviously the last time we played against them, we battered them, but I just want it to be a good, entertaining game. Not teams trying to feel each other out. You don't need to do that because you played each other millions of time in the Premier League. I want a good, high octane game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Most likely we'll be on live watching it with Marjube anyway. So yeah, but yeah, last 2 games, fantastic result, and on to the next one, which is the final.
Yeah, yeah, two brilliant games. I would like to say this: it was a shame that Nunes and Jota got injured to miss the second game. I had them in my fantasy, lost points. I would say this: Nunes chip against Brentford was disgusting. I would say that. Like, he's a madman. I don't get him. Easy chance, fluffs. Hard chance to chip from that far out, that tall of a goalkeeper. Yeah, nah, he's ridiculous. But
Yeah, Flecken's 6'5" as that's what's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, man, and not just the count, he was stretching up as well. So that's like
Hmm.
7 something in the air with the hands. Yeah, no, and he did that. I'm not gonna lie, everyone was looking at him like a madman. I don't know what goes on in his brain. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna chip it.
I'm sure he's got ADHD or something, bruv.
Yeah, he's got sign because, like, man, the easy chances he's like, oh, I'm just gonna hit it, and then it goes to Rose Ed, ends up in the moon and that.
Hmm.
But anyway, we move from Liverpool, 2 great wins and good momentum going into the final. Now we talk about our game. Now we would just like for Liverpool and Arsenal fans to thank us. We did something that no one predicted, that no one thought was gonna happen. We got a point against Man City. For once, Pochettino actually decided to, put people in their right positions, and we played a blinder. And we did what Porto did to Arsenal. The only difference is that their manager wasn't soft towards the end. And that's why Pochettino has to go.
Mm,
For 70 minutes, absolutely brilliant.
yeah.
To a T. Nothing wrong with the first 70 minutes. Great. We should have scored more, maybe in the first half. I think we were very wasteful in chances, especially because Haaland was having a bad day. Hey, shout out to all the man that triple captained him. Hold that. Man only scored one goal in both games. Still top scorer though. But yeah, no, it wasn't to be, man. To be honest, I did the same thing when he was facing United, and he did nothing for me either. So, bun that guy. Always wants to score against the little teams, fam. Bum. Anyway, but Man City couldn't cope with us. They couldn't get through us, and we had a lot of chances on the counter, running in behind, and it was strange for Pep to play such a high line against us and continue to do it even into the second half, because we were getting so much joy from them defensively, and normally you think of Pep as a person to change it up, to make a difference, to do something to change the game, but he didn't really do much tactically. He got outfought by Pochettino for 70 minutes, but then Pochettino decided to be soft. Now, there's things that I've seen this season that doesn't work for us. We play a false nine, we're more likely to lose. We go to a five at the back, we concede every time. And that's what he did. And the thing about it is, all of our CBs are injured. Who did he bring back? A man that hasn't played for a year, hasn't played all season in Chalobah. How are you bringing a man back in such an intense game with no prem games beforehand against Man City away with 20 minutes left? He ain't got the legs for that. It's just an extra body, but the body isn't going to do anything. And the other player you bring on is a youngster in Cassidy, who was on loan at Leicester, playing up Championship football. What you should have done in the 20th minute is, our players were getting tired. You should have done a like-for-like swap, put on a Mudryk, put on a Madueke, so that we had the counter still available. Because that's what was hurting them. Man City didn't like the counter. If you put in Modric at 70 minutes, you still have the threat, meaning they can't make the changes that they made to bring in more attackers, because they're thinking, oh, I can't push everyone forward, because if I do that, Modric's just going to run in behind. And the fact is, Chelsea have done this most of our career. One of our biggest games in our history, against Barcelona in the semi-final, is what we did. We had a defensive line, one ball over the top by Ashley Cole, Fernando Torres, and Gary Neville was jizzing. Oh! That's what could have happened against Man City. But you are a loser. You are a bum. And you decided to
I
go five at the
remember that.
back. You went to five at the back, and then guess what happened? They scored. Rodri. And guess who it hit off? The fifth defender that you put on. I'm tired of being managed by these soft men, by these weak guys. I need a real man manager. I need a Simeone. I need a Conte. I need a Mourinho. I need a winner in my club. Those are the only ones that are successful. Real men, real winners, willing to do whatever it takes to win a game. Oh, I just want to protect the league. No. No. 5 minutes to go, I don't mind you bringing in a fifth defender when there's 5 minutes left and it's still 1-0. Cool. But 20 minutes left, you're a joke, man. And the fact is, if there was 10 more minutes in that game, they would have won 2-1. What you did on the 70th minute is you bent over and you said, Pep, penetrate me, because I'm soft. And you do this game after game after game. We have not gone into a half time losing. The first half is the players. They do their job more time than not. They miss a shot here or there, they're young. Second half, it's your job. And every second half you lose. You're a bum. And you expect me to believe that we're going to do anything in this final with you in charge? Pochettino, you got the Tottenham gene, and the Tottenham gene is strong in you, just like it is in Harry Kane up doing losing to Bayern Leverkusen and that, fam. The Tottenham gene is strong, fam. It's in the history of the Tottenham, fam. That North London water is strong in you. You need to let it go. That was years ago. You went to PSG and that, and you still didn't get the winning stench. Fam. You're still a loser. I don't care that we drew. We should have won the game. The players were brilliant. Malo Gusto locked up. Locked up Doku, fam. Sent him packing. That's the second right back. Our second right back. Locked up Doku. Ben Chilwell played out his skin. Locked up Prince Foden, fam. The man that they say is the generational talent. Locked up. Locked down. Brilliant for 70 minutes. But this bum of a manager, this soft bum, said, Pep, come inside me and have some fun. And that's what you always do to every manager this season. That's why we're 10th. Having man like him tell me about McAllister and Endo, comparing them to Casado and Enzo Fernandez. Because of you. We are behind Brighton, West Ham, and them, man. We're behind bummy ass teams like Manchester United, fam. Manchester United. Them man haven't even scored 40 goals yet this season.
Wild.
But anyway, overall, I'm happy with the performance for 70 minutes. The manager lost us the 3 points. And for 25 games, for 15 games out of 24, we've dropped points. 10 losses, 5 draws. That's not good enough. That's never going to get you top 4. That's barely getting us top 10. And if it was and if you continue at this rate, it's absolutely terrible. And no Carabao Cup is going to save you. I don't care if you win it on the weekend. You have to win the FA Cup as well. For even the owners to even think that they can keep you next summer with the managers available coming up. Now, Luke, before we go on to the Carabao Cup final, any thoughts on the game against Man City?
Yeah, the Gary Neville Jizbit killed me. I got him doing it in my head. Oh!
Yeah, man,
Oh,
counter attack. Inshallah, that's what we should have done.
I need to watch that again when we come off the pod. But yeah, man, look, there's always that small part of me that always thinks Chelsea could win. You know, I remember the last time where I predicted you'll win a game. You was like, no, and you ended up winning a game. I can't remember who it was against. I think it was at Arsenal or something. I think there's always that small part of me that always believes that, like, when you come up against a big team, you'll potentially get something from it. Just because you guys always turn up in like big game matches, and that's exactly what happened. Haaland didn't turn up; it just wasn't his day. My guy had about 6, 7 chances and didn't even bury none of them. And on his day, it probably could have been 6-1. But he just didn't have his shooting boots on. And some of these chances were pretty easy. But do you know what's good about the Chelsea game? It just goes to show you that when Chelsea's on it, they can do it. And that's what's so frustrating, is the fact that the talent is there, the pedigree is there. And when players are playing in their right position and playing the right formation, because he did a 4-2-3-1, which is what they should be playing, not none of this false nine rubbish. And I just think, for me, that game epitomized Chelsea's season in a sense of, you guys have played so well in some games, and other games you guys just let it crumble. Whether it's the players, whether it is the manager, I do not know, because I'm not playing football. I'm not a Chelsea player, but it's just very frustrating that watching the whole game and see you guys just grab City by the balls and just attack them. Again, the blueprint that I keep on saying, when you play against Man City and you attack them, they crumble. They don't know what to do. I say this every single time, and this is what happened. There was a blueprint there for Chelsea to follow, and they followed it, executed it perfectly, and it's fitting that Sterling had to score against them. I was hoping for a Cole Palmer goal as well. Really and truly, two former players that Man City disrespected and let go. And I think for me, it was a fantastic game. But the minute I see the attackers get subbed off in the 70th minute, I knew instantly City are gonna score a goal. I just knew because he didn't even do it in the 85th minute. He did it in the 70th minute, giving Man City 20 minutes to get something from the game. That 20 minutes is vital, considering the attacking talent that Man City have available to them and on the pitch. How are you making defensive decisions so early on when there's still time for you to go on and win the game? That really baffled me. I did not understand that substitution and I didn't understand that strategy. I didn't. Unless he did that to preserve your players for the final, but you guys have a week's rest. Liverpool don't have a week's rest. We had a game. So really and truly, we're going to be more fatigued than you are. But yeah, he decided to do a defensive substitute. Why? It just did not make sense to me. Man City was there for the taking. They were there for the pickings. They were ripe. You man were there. You were on their ass, ready to win that game, 100%. But for him to do that, that really did piss me off. It did. And I'm just a rival fan, but I was banking on you lot to win that game for my selfish reasons for my team. But I can imagine as a Chelsea fan looking at that match, watching how good you guys played for the 70th minute to then see your manager make a defensive substitution with 20 minutes to go. I can imagine how frustrating that would have been for a Chelsea fan because I would have been fuming to see that, especially as I said, the potential was there to go on and grab the winner. Malo Gusto, well done, well done, because Doku is starting to look like an average player. Put Doku against a slow guy like Burns or a guy that don't know how to defend in Trent. But put him up against someone like a Malo Gusto, someone like a Livermento, someone that's young and quick. Doku don't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. He just kept on passing sideways. He didn't even want to attempt to beat Gusto because he knew Gusto had the better of him. Gusto made him look like an average winger. And that is mad considering the things that Doku's done so far since debuting this season. So well done to Gusto, honestly. And there were other obvious standout performers. Sterling looked hungry in that game. He looked like he wanted to make a difference. He wanted to prove a point against Pep Guardiola. Why did you sell me? Why did you let me go? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go out and lead, and he actually led, and it's been a while since he led in these Chelsea games, but he delivered in that game. So maybe the next game he might end up being a bum, but that was an important game for him, and he clearly showed it. He wanted to go out there and send a message. Even Cole Palmer delivered as well in that game against his former club. So there were decent standout performances in that game. And I think it's a performance that Chelsea should be proud of. And I think if Chelsea can hold on to that 70-minute performance and take that in the remaining games, then they'll be able to at least try and secure Europa League, because that could be a potential. I don't have the table in front of me, but I'm sure that they could potentially get Conference League or Europa League. Obviously, top four is out of the reach for them now, but who knows? They again, if they utilize that 70th minute, then they can. But again, the players can go out and do everything. It's essentially the manager at the day to try and get them to the finishing line. And right now, having seen what I just saw in that match, again, I just don't think he's got the capacity to manage a big club. I don't. And a club like Chelsea don't make defensive decisions like that. They don't. We remember Mourinho. Mourinho plays shithousery football 24/7, and he plays defensive for a full 90 minutes. But the only difference with that is he knows how to get a win when he does play that type of football. Whereas with Poch is we know Poch has an attacking style of manager. So go out there and just let the shackles fall off the players and go out there and play. But yeah, the decision to make to go defensive in the last 20 minutes, as I said, that was mind-boggling to me. At least do it in the last 5 minutes, especially when there's a match to be won. So yeah, man, it was a fantastic game, but yeah, Poch let you guys down still. But yeah, we can move on to our final.
Yeah, we can move on. I would also like to say Badashile, congratulations, man. What a game, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the performance of a lifetime, and we don't need Thiago Silva no more, man. Stay on the bench. Don't bring him back. Anyway, the final. Now it's going to be interesting to see which of the players that of Sabozlai, Nunes, and Salah start, because it's day by day, and when it's day by day, you never know. They may not be ready for the final. But I would say this, for me, I think Liverpool are the favourites going into that game. I believe that they should win the game. It's going to be very interesting to see how the game goes, because the last game we played them, Pochettino decided to foolishly have a high line with Thiago Silva, and he's talking about bringing Thiago Silva back. Don't do it. Stick to the same lineup. Stick to the same lineup that we had against Man City. Stick to a very similar game plan where we played defensive and countered. Because Liverpool have a high line as well, and we have to pace in behind to penetrate that. And if we play that 4-2-3-1 with the same players and don't go too defensive too early on, I think we have the opportunity to win the game. Do I believe we're gonna win the game? No. My prediction is Liverpool to either win it in extra time or penalties. Um, I don't know in full 90. I think it's probably going to be a score draw because that's just the nature of our games most of the time. But they did batter us last time, so they got the one up on us right now. And they've got the added incentive of it being Jurgen Klopp's last season, so they're trying to win everything possible. And I don't believe in Poch, so I'm just there to watch the game. Me and Luke will probably be online watching it, having a good time, get a couple drinks in, and yeah,
Yeah.
just watch. I'm just watching the game. I'm just happy we're in a final, and if we win, Arsenal fans, Man United fans, we're coming for you, and we're coming for the Ten Hag, and the Arteta sexuals. Yeah, we're coming for the fans of those managers. Because you allowed, yeah, because you allowed Pochettino to win a trophy on your head top, a trophy that you could have been in the
Oh,
final of. Yeah, Ten Hag won the Carabao last season. Poch, if he wins it this weekend, that's 1-1, and if he wins it, that's one with Arteta too. So conversations are going to be had if we win that final, and the Arteta sexuals have 24 hours to respond. They better make sure that they get through Porter. They don't want us to win. I'm gonna lie, every other fan needs Liverpool to win it because let's be honest, it's great for Klopp. If I'm a neutral, I want Liverpool to win as many things this season as possible, just for Jurgen Klopp and his legacy. As a Chelsea fan, I don't want him to win anything because my great manager Jose Mourinho doesn't deserve to be overtaken by Klopp. And if Klopp wins another league or another Champions League or another league, then he's close to my manager in terms of Prem history and in terms of the top five. In terms of when you're looking at it, he's already passed Arsene Wenger because Arsene Wenger's a bum. Yeah, hold that, Arsenal. Arsene Wenger is a bum, fam. Mourinho said it, fam. Specialist in failure, just like you in the Dragao. But I think this is Klopp's season to win 4 trophies. He can win 4 trophies outside of the Champions League. It's a shame that Liverpool aren't in the Champions League because I think they'd be a favourite for it. I think they would win it if they were in the Champions League, and that's a big shame that we're not going to see that because a lot of these teams are bummy, just like Arsenal in the Dragao. uh, we remixing it all the time. Anyway, but for the Carabao Cup final, I'm just gonna be praying, hoping that the players play well, and probably gonna be let down by Pochettino because he's soft and he's gonna get bent over, turn around, and hit from the back 3 times like Klopp, and he's gonna say, "Yeah, yeah, Liverpool, yeah." That's what he's gonna do when he's hitting it from the back. Because Pochettino, you're soft. Anyway, what's your feelings on the game?
You know what? I don't want to see Thiago Silva. I don't want to see a false nine. I want to see you guys play your strong team. You do high line, we do a high line, and let's just go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the best of the best. I want to see a fantastic, entertaining game, and I just want us to go for it and deliver. If we lose, then we lose. At least we lost for when we played a good Chelsea team. I don't want us to be facing a Chelsea team with players out of position, an old guy at the back, uh, just players out of position. I don't want to be. I don't want that because yeah, it's a fantastic win, but ultimately that's not the best of Chelsea. I want the best. I want to be facing a team that's on it, really and truly. I want to be facing the team that played against Man City because it means that yeah, we're in for a real good game. I don't want to still 0-0 going into extra time. That's just dead. I don't want that. So personally, I want a fantastic game, and I want both teams to have their best starting 11 in the right positions because that's why I'm here to watch, to be honest with you. And yeah, if we win it, as I said, it's a catalyst for us to go on and win the remaining of our games. It's a catalyst for us to go on to the Europa League and try to get to that final, and it's a catalyst for we're still in the FA Cup, so for us to beat Southampton and go into the last of 32 or last of 32, and then it's a catalyst for us to go on and win the league. So again, we always say that the Community Shield is always it sets the tone for how the league is gonna be, how
You
the
mean the
league is
Carabao?
gonna go. No, the Community Shield at the start of the season.
Oh, oh.
It gives you an inkling of how the team who wins it, what their journey is gonna be like. Do they use that as a momentum builder, or the team that loses it, do they use that as a catalyst of okay, I didn't win this trophy, but my target is still the league. And then the Carabao Cup allows you to, if you are at the top of the table, because normally whoever makes the Carabao Cup tends to be in and around first or second, that normally is a confidence builder for you to then go on and win the league. So for me, everything is falling in alignment for us to go in and do what we need to do. We just need to go and do it. We got players that's got experience. We got players that's never been there before. It's a new occasion, but I know that the experience heads of Trent, of Van Dijk, of Mohamed Salah, of Allison, they're gonna be saying, guys, let's go out there and get the job done. Yeah, we can celebrate the Carabao Cup, but on to the next one because we're doing this for the gaffer, we're doing this for the boss, and that is what I want to see. I want to see a performance fitting for the boss because he deserves it at the end of the day. In regards to Chelsea, if Chelsea win it, then even if Chelsea don't make the top half of the table, at least they're in Europe. And right now, Chelsea need to be in Europe because, personally speaking, yes, they have the money, but the amount of money that they've spent, FFP is going to be tighter than a mother. And no doubt they're probably going to be looking at Todd Bowley. And that's probably the reason why they haven't even sacked Pochettino because it's going to cost them money to do that. So Chelsea need to be in Europe. Yes, they're an attractive club and they're going to attract players, but you need to be in Europe because you need that allurement. You need to 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 try and entice players to want to be a part of your project. And let's be real, if you guys were to sack Pochettino, the fact that you're in Europe is an enticement for a new manager to come in knowing that they're in Europe and they could potentially win a trophy in Europe as well. So yeah, if Chelsea win it, it will be great for them because, as I said, that's a European competition solidified. All they need to do now is just respectfully be in a league position that is respectable for them. As I said, they're not going to make top four, but if they can at least be in top 10, then at least it's a respectable position, granted the season that they've had. So this is a really important game for them as well. But if don't get it twisted, even if Chelsea don't win it, they're still in the FA Cup, and they still have the potential to win the FA Cup. Like don't get it twisted, Liverpool and Chelsea were in the final last year twice, so it just goes to show you that we're in the final again for a third time. So it just goes to show you that the potential is there for Liverpool and Chelsea to meet each other again in the FA Cup, and I don't rule that out at all. So for me, as I said, if we win it, fantastic. If Chelsea win it, then good on them. They're in Europe. If they don't win it, then they'll potentially go to the final in the FA Cup. It is possible because it was done before. If we don't win it, we still have other trophies to target. So yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to the game. Yes, Marjorie rightfully said we're going to be watching it online, have a couple drinks and that. And yeah, we're just here just to enjoy the game, enjoy the occasion, and may the best team win.
Yeah, exactly. May the best team win. Um, but that's another episode of the Hold That show. Hold that, Assna. Hold that City because you drop points. And yeah, another great episode. And I like Arsenal in the Dragao. We know what to do when the big moments come. But I've been your host, Abdalini. That's been Luke Adonis. And we're out. Peace.
Oh yeah, hold that to Chalaban as well, your bum.
Oh yeah, he's gone at the end of the season. He is, and
Yeah.
I would say this. I'd like to add this: the manager market in the summer is going to be interesting, and we will talk about that real soon, real soon in a future episode. Don't you worry. But
Mhm.
we're out in peace.
Peace.
Hold that, Arsenal. One more time. Dragao. FC Porto. 94th minute. I just needed to add that little bit at the end. Oh yeah.